All right, nation. News is that Jerry Jones has allowed Jason Garrett to play some old school highlight clips of last year and previously this year as well to see if they can get back to some positive swings. And I like this opposed to actually the players talking about it. I like them going back and just looking at some of the positive aspects of things. And that is very important, believe it or not. A person's expectations can level itself out, and then you can say, man, we're 6-7, and then your expectations levels out. But when you start looking at some of the positive aspects of things, you'll sit back and say, man, if we can play at this level, maybe, just maybe. However, we'll still be waiting for the weekend to see whether or not all of these juices can make a wonderful drink so that we can drink it. Everybody say, stop drinking the Kool-Aid, Cowboy Nation. So let's see how this Kool-Aid is going to taste this weekend against the LA Rams. Now, I will say this, that Todd Gurley, he was saying, hey, I don't know why everybody's talking about and worrying about the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be in the playoff. Now, if we had that type of faith and confidence, that would be cool as it relates to fans, because Jerry Jones got that type of mindset. And, of course, Dak Prescott, if you just look at my previous video about that. However, it's still a pivotal game. Cowboys need to win this game. We need some type of momentum swing. And then we got to face against those Eagles. We got to beat the Eagles. That's just the reality of it. It boils down to those two things that must happen. Now, I did sit back and enjoy myself today. I watched the Ravens versus the Jets. It was a pretty good game. And I watched them so that I can gaze and see where my Dallas Cowboys are as it relates to the Jets versus the Ravens. I wanted to see on the low end, if you look at the Jets, you can say, yeah, they were 5-8 going into the game. Now they're 5-9. But you can still say to yourself, man, they got a guy that can take the top off the defense. They got a running back. They got a decent front four. Of course, they lost some guys, of course, due to injuries. And then they traded another guy off. And then I think that Jamal Adams didn't play, although they got mollywopped or what have you. I wanted to see the competition level. And Sam Darnold, it looks like and it appears that this guy is going to be a great, fantastic quarterback for them for years to come. They just need to put a few pieces around him so that he can play a whole lot better, because I think they need to solidify their offensive line. But I wanted to see what level of competition that they will be able to do. And they were able to drive the ball on the Ravens. So it made me look at the Dallas Cowboys game, and I said, man, if you put the Jets at home, maybe they could have gave a better fight against the Ravens. But however, when you look at the Ravens' overall collective skill set, they nice. They are nice. And I don't know whether or not this can translate for long periods of time, but I can see that the Ravens are already kind of looking at it like, hey, we're just going to keep giving the hot hand, keep giving the guy Lamar Jackson he's the hot hand, so we're going to keep feeding the baby. We're going to put things around him so that we can make him comfortable to win. And how do they do that? Just looking at the game, I can look at Hayden Hurst. I can look at the Andrews kid that they got from OU. So those are weapons. Believe it or not, I always say that the tight end will always be the quarterback best friend. And if you could sit back and watch that game, you can see that their front five, which is as it relates to offensive line, they're physical. That Yanda, I think that's how you say that guy's name, very physical type of lineman in the inside. And then on top of that, number 21 for them from the Saints, Mark Ingram. He's a downhill runner. He feeds off of the offensive line blocking. He feeds off the tight end capturing the edge. And then they suck in the defense. They put 9 in the box immediately. LJ, Lamar Jackson spread out the actual defense by going empty back. And once it's spread out, he don't see anything, he tucks it and run. Or if he see the one-on-one, the individual, the mismatches that we would love to see when they run their 12 personnel, he exploit the mismatch because they got 2 vertical threats. Hayden Hurst And Andrews, they can take it vertically upfield and they can kill you one-on-one. It's just like a game of chess. It's just like cat and mouse. It's a next level type of game that I'm looking at my Dallas Cowboys and I can say, can we do the same? We don't have the personnel. We don't. We got an old reliable who's old and long in the tooth. And then on top of that, our play calling is so suspect and we can really see it coming a mile away. It's no continuity. It's no system that's put into place. Now, I just don't know. I don't know. I flat out don't know whether or not this will ever change under the Jason Garrett administration. But I just hope that Jerry Jones could just sit back and just watch some real football that was going on. The Jets versus the Ravens. And when I say real, I'm talking about from the aspect, you just saw, look, we saw that this Jets team that beat us, they beat us because they were more physical. But what the Ravens did was, okay, although we scored and punched you in the mouth, the Jets came back and tried to punch them in the mouth, which they did. They just didn't capitalize because of the block field goal or what have you. I can say that the Ravens said, oh, I'm going to match your physicality and I'm going to show you that I'm going to keep my physicality throughout the entire game. I'm telling you, a blocked field goal, a return from the end zone, creating those positive yards, all of those things count. It do. It counts a lot. So what I'm trying to tell everybody is that if we can figure out ways to be more physical, punch teams in the mouth, and then on top of that, if we can get away and stop shooting ourselves in the foot and look ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, Jason Witten, we love you, but at this point, we're going to have to let you use this bench area right quick. We want you to warm that area up because I believe that if a player that's faster, they can get in and out of their breaks better, they can take the top at least off the defense as it relates to an extra wide receiver, or if you want to put in the other tight end kid, if you just want to do that, then it will be better suited for this particular team going forward. Because Jason Witten, he's not going to stretch the interior of anybody's defense with the way he run his routes. That's just the reality of it. So Cowboy Nation, looking at both sides of everything, we really going to have to figure out and fix these things up one way or another. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you all feel about the game that went on. If you got a chance to see the Jets game and the Ravens game, and if you got a chance to just understand the whole total picture of what the Dallas Cowboys are presenting out there to the table. We got 3 more games. And at the end of the day, we must win the games that are in front of us and this Eagles game. Got to figure out ways. I do believe that when you get into the playoff, I'm always with the mindset because of this coaching staff, is that we shouldn't have a first round bye anyway. We should always try to have that wild card round. Maybe something could spark along from there. Maybe. That's what I'm leaning on and hoping for. But some people are wishing that we go 6-10 so that they can go ahead and clean up house. I'm with the belief if we can just maintain and win one game at a time, build that momentum, use that momentum to spring forward to the next game, and then use that momentum because we got the talent. Now, these players just got to understand if we can win in spite of the coaching. I know, I've said it before, that normally when you play in these type of games, you don't improve in tackling because we already been missing tackling all this year, that all of a sudden you don't improve in tackling. But hopefully, and I mean just that, by Jerry Jones allowing his son, Jason Garrett, to replay those highlights. The reason I'm just poking fun at Jerry, but you know what I'm saying. By using those highlights to motivate something different. Looking back and saying, okay, you guys been hearing from the nation all of the negative things, but here are the positive things. And maybe that positive energy can be transferred, and maybe we can see something positive out there on the field. Let me know, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace. Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go.